Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Yeah. Just how was the paddleboard challenge and truck dragging that you did yesterday? Sounds pretty grueling.
Yeah, the paddleboard. I'm not a very good swimmer, so I almost opted out of it, to be honest, and said I don't really fancy paddling the mile out to sea. But we were on it together, and I was pleasantly surprised that I made it back.
Callum Chick was saying that you're offering guidance on swimming technique.
No, I wasn't offering any guidance on swimming techniques. Boys were getting tired, and I was at the back, and I could see when they were stopped swimming. So I said, change the stroke.
Sure. Were there any star performers from yesterday?
Everyone was class. Our group, literally, we done very well. We won by about 10 minutes, I think, which is a lot. So we were the heaviest group as well. It was class. Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed myself.
Sure. Do you find it beneficial to do things like that, which are a little bit away from the usual rugby?
Yeah, I do. I'm like I said, I'm a terrible swimmer, so I was very, very pessimistic going into it. But coming out on the other end, I got a big endorphin hit from winning. So I guess there's no negatives to come from it.
Sure. Just a bit about yourself. How have you and the other Leicester guys found coming into camp? Have you come in with a bit of a buzz, given the way the club's performed in the Premiership?
I'm relatively good now at sort of switching off from club stuff. Probably a tougher task this week because obviously we've got the derby. But no, I've sort of parked all that. I'm still speaking to Steve as regularly as I can. But the other boys, now I haven't spoken to them once about the club, to be honest. Obviously until the team was announced. But no, they've done really well. Boys been on fire. Mate, you okay?
Just with the guard, Eddie's got a pile of new staff in there with you had the small camp before, and then now it's kind of the main camp building up to the games. So what have you made of the changes he's made? And you've got Cockers back there, you're working with Richard again. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's good. He's a little bit different to when I had him at Leicester, but I think the difference between club and international there's a big jump in terms of how you sort of conduct yourself. You think at Leicester he was there for 20 odd years, so he was a very different character there to what he's going to be here. He's just working on, I guess, sort of building relationships with people now. But he's a good operator when he gets his feet on the ground. So yeah, we're just working as hard as we can, as quickly as we can to find those relationships.
Well, was it easy for him to pick up the relationship with, say, the likes of you, who he didn't own from the club?
Yeah, I mean, I kept in contact with Cockers in Edinburgh. And then when he got the England job, I texted him saying congratulations. Like, he was a sort of a big pillar in my career. He was the one who brought me into the Leicester environment and treated me so well. So if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be sat here in front of the camera now.
Okay, I'm just wondering, has he talked to you about Leicester and how you're doing and your own form coming into camp? How would you rate that?
Not once. Yeah, I spoke about Leicester. My own form, yeah, okay, I guess. Sorry, mate, you're muted.
All right, just finally for me then, there was a video yesterday, Joe Marler going up behind Kyle Sinclair and blowing a horn behind him. Is that typical of the crack that's suddenly going on in the England camp?
Yeah, Marler tends to film it a bit more than we do, but he's some character, Joe. He's good to have around, man, and Sinks don't get anywhere near enough grief as he should. So I'm happy that he done that.
Thank you.
I was just going to ask, I was looking back at the last Six Nations team against Ireland back in March, and 8 of the 15 starters are now they're injured or they're not in the squad. So I was just going to ask, does it feel like a bit of a new era in the training camp at the moment, ahead of the World Cup 2 years' time?
Yeah, I guess. I spent the summer with a lot of the boys that are here now. So for me, I've sort of had a bit more time to adapt. You probably have to ask someone who was away with the Lions or didn't come on the summer tour what it feels like. So yeah, I probably can't give you a great response on that. Sorry, mate.
And one of the players not included, of course, is Mako Vunipola, and of course, your same position. Is that, you feel like you're going to be the first choice loose head prop now going into these autumn internationals?
No idea. Again, you're asking the wrong person. You'd have to ask Eddie, wouldn't you? I don't pick the team, fortunately. But look, I'm contribute how I can, and Mako's a world-class player, as we know, so he could come in a few weeks.
And just one on one of the players not included, of course, is George Ford this time around. Is that what were your thoughts on that when you saw your Leicester teammate not included?
I just thought he's been playing brilliantly for Leicester. That was all I thought. I don't think anything about England. It's never a given. I was chatting to one of the boys the other day. You never know when it's your last. So make the most of it in the meantime. And Ford is making the most of it on the pitch at the moment for Leicester. So I'm sure he'll reap his rewards eventually if he keeps